What is up, Internet? Beagle Eye Vision's here again. Yet again. Sorry, not sorry. We're here. We're going to do a quick video just discussing the basics of natural law. We're going to get into a little bit of this book called the Kybalion, which is one of my favorite books ever. One of my favorite books I've ever purchased. You can purchase this book for like 15. We just looked it up, right, Jasmine?
Yeah.
You can buy this book for buy it for like $16. It's so cheap. It's cheap. It's so good. The knowledge is just so good. The knowledge. So anyways, just do a just a quote. There's a school girl giggling back there. Just to quote one of my good friends, Brandon. He just recently posted a video about natural law on his YouTube channel, and so here it is. Natural law is a set of universal, inherent, objective, non-man-made, eternal, and immutable binding conditions, which are the governing dynamics for the consequences of beings with the capacity for holistic intelligence and the understanding of the difference between right and wrong, or nonviolent and violent behaviors or actions. Natural law has been known by many names such as moral law, cosmic law, universal law, consequentialism, God's law, and even cause and effect. Contrary to what most people believe, natural law has nothing to do with Darwin's theory regarding the natural order or survival of the fittest. And that is a direct quote from Brandon Martin from Seed Truth Academy on YouTube, and also the Cubby Hole podcast. And if you find either or of them on YouTube, you will, one will lead you to the other. So we're gonna run through the 7 principles that are in this book, and also we're gonna get into the eight hidden principles. So the first principle is the principle of mentalism. The all is mind, and the universe is mental. Whenever we bring something into the material world, it has to happen in the mind, like a table or a song. I'm a musician. A lot of my friends are musicians. Brandon Martin's a musician. Whenever you want to make a song, it has to happen in the mind first. Or a table, it has to happen in the mind. Whenever you make anything, it has to happen in the mind. The second principle is the principle of correspondence. As above, so below, and as below, so above. And to be totally honest, I wish I could elaborate more on that one, but I'm learning every day. I'm learning more and more every day. I wish, our ultimate goal is to be able to teach these things to everybody, so everybody can be able to understand it. And the third principle is the principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, and everything vibrates. That makes sense. Who can argue? Who can argue with that one? It's pretty simple. And then, so the fourth principle is the principle of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. To illustrate, heat and cold, although opposites, are really the same thing. The differences consisting merely of degrees of the same thing. Look at your thermometer and see if you can discover where heat terminates and cold begins. There is no such thing as absolute heat, and there is no such thing as absolute cold. Yeah, that's another one that's pretty simple. All these principles kind of just explain themselves, and very synchronistically, they all go together. They all go together. So the fifth principle is the principle of rhythm. Everything flows out and in. But yeah. Everything flows out and in. Awesome. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the left. Rhythm compensates. Rhythm compensates. What's rhythm compensate? Does rhythm drive a big diesel truck? No. The sixth principle is the principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law, and that's capital natural law, not man's law. Not to be confused with man's law. You know, get a vaccine or you're going to jail. Put your mask on. Or you're not allowed to shop here at Wally World. Everything has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law, not recognized. Well, I love that. There are many places of causation, but nothing escapes the law. And in this book, you'll notice that all of the words "law" are all capitalized, like the similar to the next book that we're going to get into, which is The Most Dangerous Superstition by Larkin Rose. I'm pretty excited to do that. When I started reading it yesterday, I started reading it. Started diving into it and writing some notes on that book. That's going to be the next book, and then probably Animal Farm after that one. So thank you, Larkin Rose, for that awesome knowledge. And the principle of gender. This one's very important in 2023. The principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. On all planes. And then, Jasmine.
The eighth hermetic.
What's the last principle?
The eighth hermetic principle is care.
What is it again?
Care.
The eighth hidden hermetic principle is care.
Yeah.
Gotta have care. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that twice. Gotta have care. Care is important.
Yeah. I feel like you have to have care in yourself before you start caring for other things.
Yes, that's right. So you can't care about other stuff. You can't have agape love without having, self-love. And just like you can't have self-love without brotherly love and all that good stuff. All that good stuff. So I mean they're pretty simple, and if you study science, if you dive deep into the science and physics and stuff like that, all these principles make perfect sense. They all correlate with each other.
I mean, once you start using these on the daily, I feel like they help you a lot in life and
they really do
make you more conscious of your aware surroundings and
exactly
like that.
And it's like you have to use, with these principles, you also have to use the book you just started recently. You have to use the Trivium. So grammar, logic, rhetoric. So you have to get your grammar correct. Your grammar allows you to, like, I mean, everybody knows what grammar is. Yeah, if you went to public education.
Or homeschooling, I mean.
Yeah, or homeschooling. Grammar's pretty simple. You gotta, if you skip the grammar step, you're not gonna go to the logic. You're not gonna make it to logic, and you're certainly not gonna make it to rhetoric, because rhetoric is, once you get the understanding, then the rhetoric is you have to go out and start teaching people. And that's what care. That's what care is. You go out and start teaching people. You don't want. Back in the days, it was illegal to teach a slave how to read. You could go to jail for that, because it's liberating.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. But yes, so quick video on that. We're gonna be on the Kill George podcast coming up again soon. They said I was gonna be a recurring guest. I'm excited. Oh, I get all fired up inside. I'm just like, I'm excited to teach knowledge. So I hope you gained some understanding. I mean, I would highly recommend to going listen to Cubbyhole podcast. I mean, I know what I know because I've stood on the shoulders of giants, and those are the giants. I feel like they explain it much more thoroughly and much more in depth. Go check out Cubbyhole, Wake the Dead, any of the legends on the One Great Work Network, which hopefully we're going to start interviewing some of them. We'll figure out our technology, our equipment stuff.
It's coming up from here.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I have, on a side note, we have enough money for me. I'm going to take the How to Become the True Media seminar, which enrollment is in April. I'm so excited. We have the money. The money is in our safe, so I'm going to learn how to use all this fun stuff. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll be doing all summer, pretty much. We'll be learning. And Jasmine's going to be studying and reading.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you care. Because you care. Mm-hmm.
I do it for myself.
Absolutely. So I hope you learned something. Definitely check out those other ones. Keep reading. Read. It's awesome. It's like a movie that you get to direct yourself in your own head. And you get to choose what the characters look like. You know? It's awesome. It's like, who doesn't want to direct their own movie? Go read some books.
What do you
That's
think
why
about
why we do book reviews. We're trying to normalize reading.
I think you like it.
Nobody, I'm trying not to cuss, but nobody freaking reads anymore.
Yeah. Not really.
But, alright. Thanks. Well, just a little quick video. Peace out, Internet.